So we are headed off to the attorney's office so I can drop off the closing packet and our certification of trust as we take possession on the 3 acres that we have in Gaston. Now, this is going to be a quick little lesson going back to Wholesaling 101 and why you need to always collect your earnest money deposit at the time that you're signing the contract. Our negligence came from the fact that there's so many moving parts and we got so many properties on the board that I just took the buyer's word that they did drop off the earnest money at the attorney's office. So when it came to the point that closing came and the buyer didn't show, now we have to take possession of the 3 acres, which it's a great deal to begin with, so I have no problem just assuming it for a minute and we'll get it back on the market to close it pretty quick. So let's take a quick trip down the street and we can go ahead and drop off these documents, get everything notarized, and we will own a new piece of property. So we are back to Wholesaling 101. And one of the first rules in the book is always collect an earnest money deposit when you have a buyer under contract. Now, this isn't the first time that I've had to learn this lesson, but let me tell you, as you start to build up and consistently have deal flow, it's easy to get complacent. What do I mean by that? I mean, when you have 8, 10 deals on the board and you're facilitating these different transactions nationwide, whether it be in a virtual market where we're working with a hedge fund or whether it be on our own turf here in South Carolina. So this particular piece of property, which sits in Gaston, South Carolina, it's sitting on a 3-acre tract, super secluded, super nice location for someone that's looking for country living, you know, away from everyone else, not being on top of your neighbors. I do know that the Spanish community really likes the Gaston area because of those reasons. So again, it's a nice piece of property that we had a contract locked up at $14,000 for the 3 acres, and we had an end buyer on the line for $32,000, right? Now me, trusting the end buyer and just going by the word, I went by what I was told, and in the text sheet, she had advised me that yes, I've dropped the earnest money off with the attorney, everything is good to go. Once title's back, we're good to close. So we literally get to closing day. That morning, the buyer told me that she would be on site, they're ready to close, husband picked up the certified check, we're good to go. And then what do you know, closing rolls around, I get a call from the attorney, hey, I don't know where your buyers are at, they haven't showed up, it's an hour past the date time that they're supposed to be here, what's going on? So of course I got to get on the horn, reach out to the buyers. The lady gives me the runaround and apologizes profusely, saying that her husband was not able to get off of work, so they'd be available to come in the following day. Okay, let me see if I can make that happen. Reached out to the attorney, hey Brent, can we go ahead and schedule this for sometime tomorrow? Yes, not a problem, let's make it happen. So long story short, the next day rolls around, and what do you know? Buyers don't show up. Text them, what's going on? I finally get a text back talking about how they didn't receive enough plot information when I provided the plat that was in the title work sitting with the county, and apparently they either got cold feet and just ran or whatever the case might be. Went back to Brent, hey Brent, you got the earnest money, right? No, buyer never dropped off the earnest money. So lesson learned, guys, always collect your earnest money. I know there's a lot of moving parts. In this situation, my focus was managing all the teams, making sure our callers are in place, acquisitions are rolling, transaction coordination's good, that I went by someone else's word when we signed a contract virtually, when the check was supposed to be dropped off and distributed at the attorney's office, and it was not, right? So again, Wholesaling 101, if you guys got a contract locked up, make sure you got skin in the game. Make sure that your buyers have at least $3,000, $3,500. It's a really nice property, $5 grand earnest money. If you're giving somebody a great deal to begin with, they gotta have skin in the game, right? Standard practice, if you're able to meet in person, grab that check up front, right? If you want an attorney to hold that money as an intermediary, have them write the check to the attorney, but make sure that you have that placed in your hand so you have it locked in. So from this point forward, I got two options. Well, one, I gotta buy the property because we told the seller that we'd be closing on a certain date, and what do you know? He signed for closing. So in order for us to fulfill and uphold our side of the deal, I had to wire $14,000 plus, 14 plus what was owed for the closing costs. So we're gonna buy it. We'll take possession of the property, which was not my intent, but again, we have the price at a low enough range where there's no reason that we can't make money on the backside, right? But lesson with it is, hey, make sure you get that earnest money up front. Make sure that all parties are in communication and that there's no miscommunication in the contract, in the verbiage, in the agreement. At the end of the day, in this industry, guys, communication is the #1 key to being successful. If you're in sales, you have to be a good communicator. You have to be good at building and mending relationships, keeping all parties in communication, staying in touch, keeping these deals afloat, and in some instances, you gotta know how to put out fires, right? So get out there, guys, stay in the game. You have all the tools right here at your disposal. I mean, you can go to YouTube University, subscribe to any of these real estate investors' YouTube channels, and get all the information that you need. But the only question is this: how much is your time worth to you, right? I think the value of having a mentor is being able to compress time, being able to take the years and years of experience through a seasoned vet that's already made the same mistakes that you've made, that's already figured out their systems and processes and had to develop through their failures, through trial, right? If you can get someone in your corner that already has the roadmap, that is invaluable, right? That's the power of having a network. That's the power of being involved in a high-end mastermind. And that's the value of having a coach. No matter what stage you're at in the game, even if you're playing at a super elite level, you should have a coach, right? The best athletes, the best performers, the highest achieving entrepreneurs in the world all have coaches. Why? Because they recognize, even though they might be disciplined, they still have weak traits. They still have weaknesses inside of them that they need to overcome. So if you can have someone in your corner that's able to see behind your blind spots, that's able to point out these different things that they might see, that's gonna, one, save you from making mistakes, save you from failing, save you from lawsuits, then it's well worth the money that you're gonna pay them in return, right? So again, keep it simple, guys. There's no reason to overcomplicate your system or your process. Wholesaling 101, stick to the basics, master the basics, and stay consistent with your marketing. You'll never have a problem making money in this industry. So we're about to pull up to our attorney's office. We gotta drop off the closing documents that we have, because guess what? We're now taking possession of the property, which is no big deal, but again, we gotta move money from our account to theirs, take possession. We gotta remarket this property when we could have just wiped our hands, got the assignment fee on the hood, got our payday and pulled out, kept the engine moving, right? But again, we gotta perform on our end of the bargain. Don't make open-ended promises, putting a contract on a house for a seller when you're not able to make it happen, right? So live with honor, operate with your word, guys. Get out there and stay great. I'll see you guys on the other side.